Hello everyone, it is I, Ryan, also known as thelovebat, and I have been off for a while on Pathfinder Kingmaker and haven't really gotten back into it. Been too long, I would say, of a hiatus that I've been on with this game and with many other games that aren't Magic the Gathering Arena. Just hadn't really gotten back into the habit of playing them like I should have, like with Pathfinder Kingmaker and a couple of other Let's Plays I've been doing for like some Star Wars Rebellion, other different sorts of classic games that I just didn't get around to continuing and at least finishing up some of them. But now that, I've gotten some time and cleared up and motivation going again, I'm going to continue along and get back into the action because, again, last time, as I remember it, even though it's been a long time, I remember it was a bit of a cliffhanger. We were getting ready to go ahead and get to the end of a certain arc of the game, which is generally the first sort of major arc of the game, which is in Pathfinder Kingmaker. It's when we're at essentially the Stag Lord's Fort, which is the basic main villain in the early portion of the game that we're trying to deal with. And so last time we left on a bit of a cliffhanger and didn't really get around to finishing the Stag Lord's Fort. And as I remember it, we had gotten like a natural 1 or something like that on a stealth check to try and infiltrate the fortress without being detected. And because we ended up being sort of critically failing at that task, we were, we didn't really get in there without being detected. We ended up being heard, seen, spotted, the jig is up. And now we have to probably get ourselves into a fight to fight our way to the Stag Lord and deal with him. I didn't watch the last episode entirely. I didn't really watch it to get a read of everything that happened the last time necessarily. But I do remember generally what happened is that we were making our way to deal with the Stag Lord. And I think we talked to some people that were outside of his fortress that formerly worked with him, and we convinced them that the Stag Lord isn't the way, and we're going to be fighting him, and maybe you guys can help us and take up arms against him, basically, if I remember correctly. Now, again, we were going to try and get in here, infiltrate it, and then, surprise some of the Stag Lord's men before getting to the Stag Lord. But it seems that the Stag Lord and his men are now awares of what we're doing here. So when we get to him, it's not going to be a surprise. I don't know if there's going to be like dialogue with him or not. I'm assuming that there will be because it's like, again, this is the climax of this first major arc of the game. He's the villain that we've been after since like the first episode of this series, so to speak. So this is how we're going to go ahead and finish out this arc of this particular part of the story, I would guess. Obviously, the game is far from over. It's not going to just end at the Stag Lord. That would be like a little too short for an RPG, I would say. A little bit too short of an arc. Even though we've spent quite a bit of time playing this game, again, the game is far from over. We've just done lots of exploring and lots of going through dialogue options and such. So now that I think that the general recap is over, for people that are at least familiar with the Let's Play, have watched me play this before, and they kind of know where everything is at already. The party that I have right now is Alyrra, who is a hospitaller paladin, which is essentially a somewhat support sort of base paladin with lots of unarmored defense by taking a dip into the Scaled Fist Monk subclass. So I wanted to go ahead and make not necessarily like a Jedi build, but just try and make it to where I can go with dexterity and charisma, go unarmored, go into that sort of very strong-willed and someone who's dexterous enough to hang on the front lines, because if you don't have good AC, then on the front lines you're a terrible frontliner. So had to just kind of lean into a lot of the dexterity and charisma here. And then charisma is going to take care of saving throws, even though our wisdom isn't all that great. And then they're very persuasive. That's one of the main things with them. They're persuasive, fairly mobile as well. Since we are a shall we say, Azada touched or Azada blooded, Muse touched sort of Aasimar, is that how you pronounce it? So yeah, this is just sort of a recap because it's been such a long time since I played the game. So yeah, that's the general idea of the character, and then we have Valerie, Amiri, Reginar, Lindsay, and Octavia as our party members right now. So these are the party members we've been playing with most of the time. There's also a dwarf, Harim, I think his name was, that we've been playing with a little bit in the past as well. Right now, this is who we're going with. Lots of very strong frontline type characters and some spellcasters as well. So now we have to decide what do we do now that the jig is up. I was thinking that we could go in and we can always use some support abilities. I
won't let you down.
I think we also rested a little bit before we tried to infiltrate the fortress, and again, I could have saved scummed to try and avoid the natural one.
I always did what was right. Therefore,
check.
I became righteous. Does it mean whatever I do now becomes
Valerie.
right because I am righteous?
Yes, Valerie, I know. Anywho, so yeah, I could have saved scummed to try and avoid the natural one stealth check, but that's not what I want to do. I want to kind of roll with the failures and successes. So I think we're going to go ahead and I could do a bit of bless with the ring that Lindsay has. But I think that I want to just, I mean, I can try and conserve it, but we are going to be fighting some people for sure.
Here!
And let's see, we have Greece, we have some control-based options we can use as well, but we might want to save those for the Stag Lord as well. Just trying to get a read on my abilities here, just to make sure that I have everything going the way that I want them. That's only 1 minute per level, so that might run out by the time we get to the Stag Lord. So I'm just trying to decide what abilities do I want to go with right now. Let's see, one friendly creature within touch range. Okay. So I could do that spell, I think, on Alyrra with mage armor, I think.
What's the holdup?
If I'm not mistaken, mage armor should work, unless she already has some kind of armor bonus that I'm missing here. I mean, I do have some gear boosting things here, but none that give an armor defense type armor bonuses or whatever. Like there's some bracers of defense or something like that that can give you like some kind of unarmored AC in some cases. Like this one right here. Braces of armor +1 for Octavia. So I think I can go ahead and probably just cast mage armor on my main character here to give her a base armor bonus here that I think should stack with an armor defense. So let's go ahead and see if I remember this correctly. And then her AC, yep, it's a bit higher here, so +4 for the mage armor. So pretty good combo with unarmored defense if you're not wanting to use the bracers of defense or bracers of armor, whatever you want to call them. Yeah, so we're going to do mage armor there since it's going to last long enough to be able to make it to the Stag Lord and not be run out of duration, I would say.
What troubles you?
And then right before we get into a fight, we're going to go ahead and initiate Bless, I think, from Lindsay here. Okay, so now I think we want to do a little bit of Bless. And then no other sorts of buffs that I think that we can really do.
I stand ready.
Well,
Mainly we have control options at the moment. I want to save my rage for the Stag Lord.
don't hesitate.
And then we have a little bit of Lay on Hands left. We have Glitter Dust still, and Smite Evil I'm imagining would be good to use against the Stag Lord. I'm assuming that he's evil. Glitter Dust would also be good in the Stag Lord fight since he has lots of minions up there that we can see. We probably shouldn't be able to see his minions up there and what's happening up there and how many people that we're facing. But that's what the game gave us. Maybe it's just our visibility is being able to see up there or some weird thing, but I don't know. So it looks like the Bandit Brawler is a pretty tanky dude. Their AC isn't terribly high, but they have lots of hit points and they can probably hit reasonably hard with their high strength score. So yeah, let's definitely want to have Valerie up front there, and then after we get Blessed activated, which is now we want to go ahead and have all of our people head in there. Let's have you charge in there if you can. Let's have you move over there, Amiri. And then we're going to go ahead and have Alyrra kind of wait for Valerie to tank some of the things here. Do we have like Bandit? Alright, so an Alchemist. So we want to get to the Alchemist we want to get to the Alchemist as soon as possible here. And Amiri, I want you to charge at the Alchemist. Reganar, I think I want you to charge at them if you can too. Let's have you get right there and hopefully you can charge at them after that. And then Octavia and Lindsay, I want you two to get a bit closer after Bless goes up here. And now we're going to have you, for some reason you still can't charge in. Don't know why. You have a clear path, I would think. I mean, I think that they have a clear path. I mean, I could be wrong about that, but usually you just need to have a clear path towards them. But I guess I don't know if it's because my characters are in the way or anything like that. There's one bandit that's going around that direction, so Alyrra might need to come around here towards them to cut them off and make sure that my backliners aren't getting hit. Move you guys over just a little bit so that way Alyrra can cut them off a bit better. There we go. Now Alyrra hopefully is going to have a free path here to cut off this bandit, while Valerie goes up here to deal with the Alchemist, and then Amiri. I mean, I really want you to charge in there, but it's not letting me, so I'll just have to deal with you just running in the old-fashioned way. Okay, so now Octavia, get the Alchemist.
Consider me provoked.
And then I want Lindsay to go ahead and do a bit of Inspire Courage to help out, I think, their attack rolls here. Okay. Alyrra, you cut them off and take care of them. There we go. Alright, so now we're just trying to go ahead and deal with the Alchemist first and take them down as quickly as possible. I don't know if you can reach the Alchemist yet. Brawl or whoever. Alright, so that thing did a lot of damage. Valerie, move up a little bit so your buddies can get in here and do stuff. Come on. I don't know why, but she's not moving up.
Weak suffer, I endure.
Yeah, this battle has not gone according to plan. This brawler is taking up space, and I can't really get to the Alchemist right now. And my dudes are just really getting their butts handed to them for some reason. So, yeah, this is not going well.
I'll cut you.
I'll survive.
Alright, let's just have you go over there since you're not really helping over here. Oh, now Valerie can move through. Okay, well, it wasn't working before. And now you two are going to have to retreat a little bit and get out of there. Reganar, you get out of there and go around the Alchemist, please. At least Alyrra is really awesome with dexterity saves, so she should be able to handle the
I
alchemist.
shall not falter.
You two, let's go
This
for the
is for
alchemist
you.
still. Alright, let's get in there. Alright, well, yeah, that went pretty terribly. The choke point right here really killed us. The alchemist just kept laying on the damage against us on that one. And this is why I have the Rise After Combat option turned on for the option settings, because if you didn't have that turned on, then in a lot of cases you're just going to get sucked dry of gold. You're not going to be able to do anything reasonably fast, and you're going to be save scumming the entire game. So with old school tabletop rules, that's just kind of... Things can be very swingy if things don't go your way. They can go bad terribly fast. If your characters aren't really like built up into powerhouses yet, which is usually in tabletop games around level 6 or 7 or whatever it is, and old tabletop rules, you usually need to be around level 6 or 7 before you really get going, and you can actually take hits without going down like a sack of bricks. So yeah, like, we're level 4 right now, which isn't bad, but we don't have a whole lot in the way of hit points right now, so... Even Amiri, who's supposed to be a sack of hit points, doesn't have that many. The Barbarian that we faced, the Bandit Brawler, has more hit points than Amiri. So, yeah, we're kind of lacking in the hit points department, so to speak. Alyrra can tank dexterity saves pretty well, but without evasion, which I might want to get later with like another monk level or something like that, then it's kind of hard to tank all those things. Okay, so do we want to use like any potions to heal ourselves up, because that went terribly wrong. And it takes a while to heal in this game with the way that the resting rules go. So it's like we have some minor sorts of potions here to heal with if we need them. Yeah, even Bless wasn't really helping us tank those alchemist shots. So we need to take out the alchemists if we can encounter any more. We need to take them out as soon as possible here. So let's just loot some of these dudes and see if there's anything useful on them. Okay. And then there's no more bodies left to loot over there, but there is something over here. Oh, what are you doing, Octavia? Don't go that way. Do not go that way. Don't go that way. Alright, so let's go ahead and save the game here, because I'm assuming that it's something we have to pick the lock of. Let's go ahead and save over this old save file here. I'm probably not going to be going back to that save, so I might as well just save over it. Just in case it's too much to overcome with the lost hit points that we have, I can at least go back to that old save and not like gimp myself in a battle, just in case I have to backtrack for whatever reason. Why are you going that way? You can do it right here. Oh, come on, what? It's right there. For fuck's sake, it's right there. There we go. Jeez, you don't have to go all the way around to do that. That's kind of dumb. I'm not going to lie. That's pretty dumb. You shouldn't have to go all the way around. Okay, so we got a potion, engraved bracelet that we can sell for money. Alright, not bad. Not good, but not bad. Alright, choke points, definitely an annoyance in this game. So, we have a wolf over here, ferocious wolf. I guess maybe this stuff over here is like a wall that's blocking their line of sight, I guess. And then we got a doohickey over here. And then what looks like an owlbear over in that direction that we might be able to do something with since it's not like hostile right now. So let's go ahead and see if we can take care of this wolf real quick. We have a couple wolves. Shouldn't be anything that we can't handle, but we shall see. It's not always going to be the case. You are low on hit points. Let's just have you using the longbow. Same with you. Let's just have you using a longbow because we don't want you two to go down like a sack of bricks. And let's just have you guys doing a little bit of this. Yes, I know, it's not glamorous. It's not what you might call fun, but it's going to keep you alive. Not die, I hope.
Let us strike as one!
And then you two are going to go...
Okay.
Ouch. So Alyrra got hit and taken down. I guess their defensive fighting hadn't quite activated yet when they got hit. That's what I would wager, because that gives them a lot of extra AC. Let's have you all go over to that wolf over there.
Avenge me!
Okay, well now things are going really bad. It's gonna go from bad to worse. Time to switch back to melee weapons. I don't know if maybe they got a lucky critical hit on Alyrra, but she went down fairly quickly there, which is definitely not good, so let's have you inspire some competence here, hopefully. I mean, Alyrra can take enemies down really fast, but she just goes down faster than the enemies most of the time. Okay, so that went pretty badly. So that was not
I
good.
yearn for entertainment.
Don't worry, you shall be entertained. We're already making this a bit of a doozy. We're going down way too fast in this episode. So yeah, Alyrra, I mean, we can't really afford to heal. We don't have too many potions on us. We don't have much lay on hands. We're just gonna have to kind of grin and bear it until we get a bit further here. Alright, so we got 2 pelts there, which isn't too bad. Can help us maybe offset the cost of all these potions that we're gonna have to burn through before the final fight. Got some food, not too shabby. Some more potions and money. Scroll back all the way down here in case I need that. And I'm just seeing if there's like any hidden items down here that you can trigger with perception. Maybe hidden in the haystacks over here. Needle and haystack, maybe? Alright, no. Alright, so nothing over there. This looks like a house that we can't go into.
Together we stand.
And then what's this? It seems that bandits wanted to build heavy fortifications here. So obviously they wanted to try and make this into a big fortress with, like, you know, wooden walls and wooden palisades and things of that nature. I guess we can move the boxes here.
I've done your request.
Okay, so he succeeded. Quite handedly, I would say. Now then, let's, I assume that these are going to be things that we can lockpick, so I'm just going to save my game again. And then we're going to have Octavia go in here and see what she can muster up. Failed to pick the lock. Okay, well, it looks like we're going to have to do the good old save scum here because unfortunately we can't just force the locks open with brute strength, like we could maybe with Reganar or Rengagar. Jeez, I can't pronounce his name correctly. It's kind of a tongue twister. Regangar doesn't really roll off the tongue the same as Reganar. Alright, so Octavia, once again, let's have you go in here.
Done and done.
There we go. Oh, there's a bandit coming. All right, I see them on a patrol pattern over there, so I just wanted to kind of avoid them spotting us by accident. Or maybe not by accident, but because we were being too careless. Every time you pick a walk, you just have to save the game and do it again, so.
Onwards. Together.
Okay, we got a glaive +1. I don't know if anyone can actually use that. The Cloak of Resistance, on the other hand, we definitely can use that, I would think, to help with saving throws. So let's see, you already have one, you already have one. You already have one, you don't have one. And you three, it appears, don't have one. Okay. So, who should we give the Cloak of Resistance to? I mean, reflex saves could be a thing, and the one that's most likely to succeed at them, I guess, would be Lindsay, and keeping her alive for, like, spell casting and different things could be helpful. Yep, I think we could maybe try to give Lindsay this Cloak of Resistance and give her a bit of a bonus to her saving throws here. And then, where's that one glaive or whatever? So, I mean, can he use it? Like, I don't... Yeah, I mean, I guess technically you can use it, but it's not going to be weapon type that he's going to want to use. Even though he can deal a crap ton of damage with it, the scimitars tend to work better for his chance to hit and for his abilities, so at least in melee. So yeah, I mean, Amiri, I guess, technically could use it, but compared to her oversized sword, it's still not going to do as well, so I'm not sure if there's really any point to that. So yeah, I think we're just going to roll with what we have right now. There's nothing else over there? I don't think so. And we already looked over there, so let's go ahead and head on over in this direction where the owlbear is residing. Okay, so there's the bandit on patrol over there in the north. Let's just save the game one more time here after picking the locks on those boxes that were just kind of randomly lying around by the logs there. I guess maybe they were stashing some of their gear away that they thought no one would notice. Okay, so what's this say? A sloppy corral for some big animal, the big animal being an owlbear. So let's see what we can do over here. There's a bandit there. I'm not sure if there's any more that are going to join in the fight. That's where the Stag Lord is at. So we can do a little bit of, we'll save our casting of Bless for later. Do a bit of Inspire Courage before initiating a fight here. And then let's see if we can just deal with this dude right now.
Consider me I'm not afraid.
Okay, so we have a couple bandits over there, but no alchemists that I can see. There is an illusionist, however, that could be a trouble because of the fact that he's a spellcaster, and those are always nasty. So, what shall we do? Should I try and curve around with Alyrra to try and get to the illusionist, while Amiri tanks all of the melee dudes? That might be what I have to do. Let's send Alyrra around. I just have to make sure I don't trigger all of those other dudes over there. So let's keep on, let's move you guys a bit forward. And maybe around right there. That way he's going to head them off at the pass, so to speak. Okay, and now Alyrra, go around. And let's try and... Well, the illusionist is up there. Let's just get you over to the archers then. Illusionist or not. Let's go for the illusionist, actually.
I see something.
And all of you, hit the illusionist and hit them hard, please. And Amiri, let's switch you to a melee weapon and go to the back lines around all the fools. And same with you, Reganar. You're gonna go around and deal with the fools in the back. Alright, so color spray, I guess. Obviously, Alyrra is going to do pretty well with saving throws. Valerie also failed to save, so that's going to suck for her. But let's deal with this spellcaster and get our two strong dudes in there, or two strong people in there to hit them hard. Hoping they don't have much AC. Alright, there we go.
Tear them apart! Look at me, Gorum!
Yep, doing it for Gorum! Yeah! There we go. There we go. Alright, now it's a matter of taking out the archers back here. Thankfully, this fight is not going anywhere near as bad as the one against the alchemist. There we go.
Godspeed.
Okay, looks like we have a chest over there to open. A couple of bandits to loot here. Let's go ahead and take everything that we find and then sort through it later. And now that we won a combat relatively unscathed, I would think, let's go ahead and save the game. Because, like, just winning a combat with this low of hit points is going to be a success at this juncture. I would call that a success. So let's just continue along here. Hope our success continues. Hope we don't die. That would be bad. I don't like having to save scum in these games, so I don't like to have to, you know, backtrack to previous things because I died and I have to go back and yada yada. So
Forwards.
okay, so that's where we went behind the wall. I'm assuming we already checked over here, but I'm going to check again anyway, just to be sure I didn't miss anything perception-wise, like hidden items and stuff like that. Because there are plenty of hidden items that are worth double-checking for. And then, yep, I think we've been around here already, so I think it's time to start moving ahead, and we can go back to the owlbear and see what it has maybe in store for us. And over here, I would assume nothing. Alright, well, I don't want to activate that engagement just yet with the Stag Lord and his men. Alright, so I'm going to save the game again, so that way I don't have to worry about doing any backtrack or anything right when I'm here. The party suffers from heavy, medium, whatever encumbrance. It can't make up its mind. It's medium encumbrance. Okay. I'm just checking to be sure because the game seems to be spasming out in the text box down there. Can't make up its mind. So is there anything we found? All right, so this is old quest, sort of side quest item stuff, I think. Oh yeah, this is the abandoned hut from the Stag Lord sort of backstory location that he wanted to get rid of some items over there and have a hut burned by his men. I remember that. So, do we find anything else useful on those bandits? Scroll of Hurricane Bow. Okay. Any arrow fired from a bow or crossbow you are carrying when the spell is cast. Okay, one size larger. Okay, so, I mean, Alyrra could technically use this if she took 1 point and they use, like, magic item skill. I guess technically Reganar could use it, like, as a high-strength, bow-wielding dude. But he's not going to have a very good chance of hitting. His dexterity isn't looking so hot. If we had, like, a ranger in our party, or some archer like that, I assume that this would be pretty decent to have around, but right now we don't have anyone that really fits the mold of that. I guess technically Octavia could use it, since it does affect crossbows. What's her damage looking like? Just 1 to 8 damage, whereas he does 7 to 14. Yeah, I think Reganar would be the candidate for this. And what's his use magic item skill looking like? +8. That's not too bad. So +8. So what? Let me double check. Use magic device here. Represents yada yada. Activate. Negative consequences of dangerous yada yada. So I'm not sure. I don't remember what the DC is for like using magic scrolls and the like that you have to use a check with. I think it might be based on like the level of the spell, if I remember correctly. I don't remember what the exact DC is. I mean, I guess I can just hold on to it though. And then Divine Favor, do I want to put that on like Reganar since his strength is super duper high, and I think that could help him deal more damage. I mean, I could, since he can use it with a skill check, so... And he has a decent use magic device skill. And then I don't want to use Hurricane Bow on him, even though it would be decent if I wanted to just have him sling away with a bow, but I think I want to have him swinging with a Scimitar on some low AC enemies. What's your use magic device skill? Not very good, so not going to be worrying about that anytime soon. For Lindsay, it's decent though, right? Yeah, it's decent. Only 1 rank in it, but that's still enough to be able to try and use something. So we have freedom of movement, I guess, was for the grease spell to help someone with that. Yeah, impeding movement. Yeah, so web and grease and stuff like that. We could give someone like Alyrra or Valerie freedom of movement for the Stag Lord fight. Protection from evil communal would also be pretty good here as well, I would assume. But if we don't have many hit points, then this may not matter that much. I'd have to heal up before using the scrolls to make sure I can get the most use out of them, essentially. Yeah, if I didn't get nicked up so hard at that alchemist fight, I'd be looking a lot better right now. But that really wrecked our hit point totals. Really wrecked our hit point totals. Really bad. Okay, so I guess I'm just going to have to... see, I can do summon monsters as well to harass some archer-type characters as well. Wand of Grease could be helpful. Ear-piercing Scream, I don't think we're going to use it in a fight like this. Let's get rid of that. I'm not sure if we're going to need protection from fire at all. I guess like lesser restoration could be helpful depending on... I don't know, I guess it just really depends. This is like reducing ability score type effects and fatigue. I guess mechanically it doesn't cure like other conditions. I would think you didn't do like a scroll of remove blindness or anything specific for those. I guess we'll have remove blindness in case we come across some kind of blinding effect. I'm not sure if like color spray I think might blind people. I can't remember what it does in Pathfinder. But there are some effects that can blind people. Alright, and I think That's about it. And now I have to decide, do I want to use like potions and stuff to heal up? Probably. Let's go ahead and stick this in there, have you drink. Let's save our game before drinking potions and stuff, just to be sure here. One of the more boring parts of the Let's Play for an RPG, but we are going into a situation where we're on the back foot as far as our hit point totals. They aren't looking good, so we have to make sure we can do stuff here to get our hit points more in line to survive. Okay, so they have some hit points, they'll be able to take 1 or 2 hits. What I really want is Alyrra to have high hit points, so that way, since she has good dexterity saves, if she has to deal with like any spell effects, she's more likely to succeed on a saving throw for that than other characters. So let's heal them up. Alright, so they're reasonably high. I don't think that I want to heal Amiri and Reganar just because, like, if they get targeted, they're probably going down pretty quickly anyway, and there's not much I can do there. I have to rely on Amiri and Alyrra to take the heat off of everyone else as much as possible. Okay, and then do I want to do like a potion of Shield of Faith to add a deflection bonus to AC? I mean, it would only add 1 extra AC because I have the Ring of Protection for +1 already, but it would still help. Thankfully, the Mage Armor is still going. So I can do some Shield of Faith potions on my frontliners to give them some +1 AC. And then I could maybe use Shield of Faith potions on Reganar and Amiri as well. Don't think that the enlarged person things are going to be helpful here. Simply because of the fact that they're going to go down pretty fast anyway if they get hit, and so I don't want to waste the potion for little effect. Ear-piercing scream, I don't think is going to be useful here. Alright, so I think that's really all we're going to be able to try doing here is we're going to try and use some potions there to try and help out the AC a little bit, and then we can bless as well as inspire competence to help out our characters a little bit for like attack rolls and saving throws. Then hopefully Alyrra and Amiri, or not Amiri, Valerie. Valerie and Alyrra, I think I might have been saying Amiri instead of Valerie there for a bit. Valerie and Alyrra are going to be able to go ahead and try and face tank all the stuff that we're going to go up against with their AC totals, which are the only ACs in the party that are really competitive as a frontliner. They're not going to... All these other characters are going to get hit pretty quickly, so we're going to have to rely on those two trying to avoid hits, essentially. No other potions that they can really use. Okay, well... So I healed a reasonable amount of hit points on my frontliners, and now I have some...
I stand ready.
Lay on hands as well. Do I want to heal herself, or do I want to heal Valerie? I think I just want to heal myself. Alright, 5 hit points isn't too bad. Alright, so let's save the game once more now that we've got the healing and the potion situation ironed out, and let's see what this owlbear is up to. Or if we can do anything with the owlbear here. The caged owlbear seems to be worried. He growls softly as you approach. It looks strong enough to break the cage's door. Okay, so we have a couple of options here. We can either try and kill it stealthily, and then we can also just try and lock the cage to just prevent it from getting out and coming at us from behind. We can also go ahead and open the cage and free it without doing anything else, or we can try and calm it first before doing something else. So what I might do here is I can, since Amiri I think is pretty good with nature, we can leave first and then do inspire, I'm mixing up Inspire Competence and Inspire Courage. Inspire Courage is the combat one. Inspire Competence is for the ability checks. I kept misremembering during combat and I said Inspire Competence, which is the out of combat bonus. So yeah, I meant to say Inspire Courage during the combats there, and I said Inspire Competence, but we're going to do Inspire Competence now, which is for the out of combat ability checks. And so this is going to go ahead and increase Amiri's nature check, I would think, to help her kind of deal with this owlbear. So yeah, she would have plus 12 here.
Adventures call to them.
Competence. So Inspire Competence, which also has some lovely music, by the way, if anyone didn't notice. But yeah, I love the music for that. So let's go ahead and do this one more time, and we'll save our game again. And let's see if we can calm down this owlbear. No! The owlbear is angry. Oh. No. Oh well, like I don't want to kill it. Oh, I don't want to save scum here, but like let me see what I got on that check. She rolled a 3. You know, I don't usually do this, but I want to see what the result is here if I can calm it down, because I'm genuinely curious, and I'm already likely to die anyway in a combat with the Stag Lord, so like I just want to see what's going to happen here if I'm able to calm this thing the way that I'm hoping I can. Like, if I had more spells, like a ways to enhance like ability or something like that, if Lindsay were a bit higher level, then that would certainly help. Or if I had, yeah, heroism could do it and help out skill checks or something like that. But we don't have enough magic for that right now, so there's not much I can do to give Amiri any more of a boost. But I just want to see what happens here if I'm able to calm it. The owlbear seems to have endured some sort of abuse recently, probably at the hands of a certain druid. Okay, probably the Stag Lord's father, if I remember correctly. It's scared, angry, and wants to take revenge on his offenders. It seems to understand that you're not one of them, and it probably won't attack you. Okay. So the owlbear can help us fight against the Stag Lord, as the neutral option indicates. I can open the cage and free it, which is chaotic good. Or I can do one of these other options, which doesn't really affect alignment at all. I mean, I know that I'm kind of teetering away from lawful good, which is what a paladin is supposed to be, but, you know, it just kind of sucks that you can't make the choices that kind of befit the character, but you still want to play a paladin, but it's the old tabletop rule sets that, you know, dictate you have to be this and this alignment. I mean, the owlbear can help us fight the Stag Lord, and then it can go free if it wants to, you know, go after his captors. And like, the Stag Lord needs to be defeated, that much is clear. So that's kind of the reasoning for that. And I mean, why would locking it in a cage and doing like the sort of inhumane thing be considered a non-alignment affecting move? Like, why would that not like affect your alignment to try and kill the owlbear or do stuff like that? You know, I figured this thing would be the non-alignment affecting thing because like you have to kill the Stag Lord. Doesn't matter what your alignment is. So well, let's just do this one. Okay, so it's no longer a threat to us apparently. And it's going to help us fight the Stag Lord. So I guess we open the door or something. I don't know. Let's save the game. I don't know if we have to like open the door for the owlbear and let it out. I guess the door probably will open itself when we initiate dialogue with the Stag Lord, I would guess. Maybe, perhaps. I also noticed there's a couple of bandits over here that maybe we can kill before fighting the Stag Lord, but maybe I just want to take care of the Stag Lord now while I have my hit points that aren't wasted yet, and just go after him. Looks like he has a minion as well, Ox. Akiro's Insmort. Instart. That's just a weird last name, and then he has a cleric as well as some other bandits. So, and then Dovon from Nisroch. Dovon from this rock. Dovon from Nisroch, or Nisroch. I don't know how you pronounce that last name, but he's a bandit, so I mean, I guess I'm just going to assume that we just go up here and go ahead and try and shake hands with the Stag Lord very aggressively, I would imagine. So let's get up here and like, I don't know if there's going to be a series of events that will cause duration of things to run down if I use it before initiating conversation. So I'm just going to go ahead and save that for after the conversation, maybe. Maybe we just save it again to make sure that Valery's in the front and taking all the hits. Wait till it saves, and here we go.
These lands are mine! I won't let you take them from me!
Looks like the Stag Lord's angry, and we're not initiating conversation with him. We are just fighting him. So I don't know if there's any way to get up to him. I assume that over in this direction there might be a way to get up to the second level there. There's obviously a staircase over here, so there's maybe a staircase over off to the right, which maybe I could have exploited by going around this direction and killing the bandits down here, then going around. Yeah, maybe a frontal assault wasn't such a good idea here. Maybe I should have tried going around so I can surround the Stag Lord and kill him quickly. Looks like he has a bow here, and he's probably gonna deal some damage. Cleric's also up there, which is going to be hard to get to, but I could send Alyrra and Reganar up to deal with them. Let's send Valerie over in that direction, and then well, maybe Valerie can go more towards the middle and try and have as many people get to her as possible. And Alyrra is going to curve around behind Alyrra. I think I want you to go after the cleric. And same with Reganar. You're going to go up there towards the cleric as well. And then I want you to inspire some courage. Hopefully it's going to help a lot. And then I think I want Octavia also to try and start shooting the cleric with her acid splash here. Never mind, it looks like we have some spellcasters over here that we want to deal with as well. No, I think I'm just going to stick to the plan here. Let's have Alyrra go over here to deal with the spellcasters actually, while Valerie's up here. Let's get Alyrra in there. Lindsay, let's have you inspiring some confidence. And then Octavia, let's just have you kind of circling around so you can get close enough to the cleric to deal with her. Okay, very good. And then let's just go ahead and bless some people, I would hope. Maybe get you a little bit closer so that way Alyrra is in the area of the bless spell. So in the epic combat with the Stag Lord, and we have Cressel, the sister of the merchant that we were dealing with in previous episodes. And so it's the sister of the merchant's wife, from what I remember correctly, and we spared Cressel's life and convinced her that the Stag Lord is not really worth following. And so now I guess she's fighting with us, which is good. So now let's just get you two up here to get to the cleric as fast as possible. And you are going to be dealing with them. Let's go ahead and do the Potion of Shield of Faith on you, and let's also do it on you. And then you two, we're not going to worry about the Shield of Faith potions on you two right now. Looks like Valerie took a smack to the face. Yeah, she took a critical hit to the face, and the critical hit was confirmed, which sucks. Yeah, Valerie took a really big hit there, even with her whopping 30 AC. Okay, so we got Shield of Faith on Alyrra right now. Cast Bless. Cast it. And you two go in there. Valerie has gone down. That's not good. Lindsay, you get out of there as soon as you can. Alright, so the cleric's down. Lindsay is getting followed, which isn't good. What do we have here? We could try some grease. Guess technically it's going to affect the Stag Lord as well. So let's see if we can get the Stag Lord smacked with some grease to knock him down. Grease would have been ideal in the middle here just to deal with all the bandits, but a little bit late for that now, since Lindsay was taking a long time to try and cast the glass.
Protect me, please.
Come on, Owlbear, protect her. Come on, Owlbear. No, come on, Owlbear. No, Lindsay, no. I mean, the Owlbear is still doing great and all, but you know, it would be kind of nice if, you know, they protected Lindsay a little bit better. But okay, well. Looks like Grease is doing its thing over there. Let's go ahead and deal with Kiros Insmort, who I badmouthed earlier, but they're taking their revenge on me. Yeah, I think I went to protect the archers back here while Alyrra's just kind of holding the fort as best she can. So yeah, I have the Shield of Faith potion going on her, and she's doing her thing, fighting defensively. And she has a 31 AC, so that should be good enough for the most part. And her reflex saves against the grease should do alright, since she has, like, what, plus 15? Yeah, so plus 15 to reflex saves. I think she's going to be alright against the grease, if she has in there. Save the archers and... Okay, well, Dovon from Nisrock apparently has like a plus 20 modifier or something. 36 damage? Holy crap, man. And a plus 20 modifier to an attack roll? How's my armor class 22? Like, I don't get it. It was 31 a moment ago. Like, did I somehow get smacked by the grease there? Like, what's going on? Like, I'm not seeing it up here in the saving throws for it, so I don't know how Alyrra's AC ended up getting so low from all that. Oh well, looks like we're gonna die. Highly likely that we do not win this.
Weak suffer.
Yep. Alrighty then, well that's... I mean, it's kind of what I expected, but you know... I was kind of hoping we might be able to do a little bit better there, so... You'll win some and you'll lose some, so that's just the way it goes. Alright, so that fight didn't go so well. Maybe we might need to try something a bit more clever. So let's see, yeah, we don't have anything here that we want to use. Let's just try... Now that we know that there's no like dialogue or anything that's going to be going on over here, let's just head on over to the side and see if we can try and get a flank on them.
Stand with me.
Let's deal with these bandits first. Looks like we have a cleric and some archers. Let's inspire a bit of courage here. There we go. Help out our dudes a little bit. Help out our party. Ragnar gets taken out there, which, again, isn't good, but he didn't have any hit points to begin with, so I'm not really expecting him to hang in there for too long. We need to do enough to where we can just pick them up quickly before they hit us too much. So Amiri can dish out the damage while the others sort of tank for her. And then let's get Lindsay a bit closer so that way she can be a bit more accurate with her attacks here.
Serves you right.
Alright, so that combat went pretty well. Ragnar got taken down there, but for the most part, that was a decent enough fight. I'm trying to hover over the body to pick up the loot, and it was kind of being finicky.
This requires your attention.
Indeed it does. Looks like some more loot. Very good on the perception roll there. At least it's one thing I know our party can do pretty well is perception rolls, even though it's not my character specifically, but even if it isn't my character specifically, I'm glad that we can do perception rolls fairly well. And we have a trap. Interesting. So let's just get a bit away from the trap here.
Godspeed.
So that way we're not like right in the line of fire if we like fail to disarm this trap here. So
I wrote it like I saw it.
let's go ahead and like I don't know if we have... Yeah, we don't have the cleric in the party anymore, so we don't have like guidance as a cantrip or whatnot for ability checks, but yeah, maybe starting the next fight I can do things to help out my party at the start of the fight. Like resistance. I don't know if resistance is going to help that much, but it might.
You can count on me.
I'm hoping I can. I'm sure going to need it. I am sure going to need it. Waiting for it to save.
Here.
Let's see if we can disarm the trap. Check failed. Alright, so we're not too far off. As long as we don't like critically fail this, we should be okay. Alright, and that's how it's done. Collect some food. Let's get everyone over here looking around. Seeing if there's anything else to spot with our nice little perception skills here. Very perceptive party. Very, very perceptive, my dear old friends. Alright, so there is indeed some stairs leading up here to the Stag Lord himself. And then down here is where Cressel and the Owlbear are going to come up to start attacking them. Obviously, we're not going to be able to go around here and hit the cleric, but being able to take care of the Stag Lord himself at the start of the fight, and then maybe casting like Grease or something like that as a way to do some crowd control, maybe that's in the cards for us, to where maybe what we can do is we can send Valerie down here to go ahead and tank for the most part. And then Alyrra can head in there towards the Stag Lord, face to face, you know, one-on-one, mano-y-mano. Or maybe it's not mano-y-mano, one-on-one, but going face to face, steel to steel with the Stag Lord, and going in there with Amiri and Reganar to start attacking him and make sure he can't just blink away with his bow and cast spells and do all that stuff without us being able to do anything back. And then Lindsay can stay up here as well as Octavia at a higher vantage point, where it's going to be harder for these people to try and target them. They might be able to cast some spells, but the archers, you know, they might be able to try and target them, but they might be focused on Valerie and Alyrra here. So maybe what I do is I send Valerie down here as a way to deal with the people on the ground, and then it can be Alyrra, Amiri, and
Any
Reganar
fun to be had?
going over there.
And Lindsay was called forth.
Yep, and then Lindsay and Octavia will kind of bring up the rear and kind of hang out around here on the high ground and plink away and cast some spells. I think what I might do with Lindsay is I can cast Bless from right here so everyone is affected, and then I can hatch my plan. I can also cast some cantrips and stuff as well. It might be worth doing, so I'll go ahead and pause the recording, and I'll be right back when I have everybody buffed up and ready to go for this hopefully epic combat that we win. I will see you then. Alright, I am back to go ahead and follow through on my very, very not so brilliant plan. So, basically I've gotten through all of the major buffs that I can think of, that I at least have the spell slots for. And so I have Shield of Faith potions activated on my 4 main melee characters here, and then I also have the Bless spell already activated, Inspire Courage as well. And then I'm going to go ahead and roll up over here and roll Valerie down here. And then what I might do is I might also go ahead and make some summoned monsters with...
Ready and willing.
With, yep, our good old Lindsay and Octavia here. And so I can make them as distractions, meat shields. I also might be able to go ahead and send some of the summoned monsters and summon them over by the cleric. I'm not sure what the range is here, so it's reasonable range. I'm not sure if there's going to be enough range to summon it by the cleric over there, but if I can, that would be great. If not, then I can just summon them down here, have them work as like a meat shield to distract the bandits for a bit longer, maybe help out Valerie a bit. So that's sort of the plan. And then I could use some magic missile here, have some magic missile and some scorching ray that Octavia could do to try and for sure hit the Stag Lord. Try and get in some damage, interrupt whatever he's doing. So yep, let's go ahead and save the game here, because I think this is about as buffed up as we're ever going to be. And you know what, let's just go ahead. I'm not going to go back to this thing, even though it'd be great if I could. But we're going to save over this file, after the epic fail for my stealth check, and let's save over that one. This might be about as good as we're going to get, so let's just go ahead and do this now. Alright, and then let us run in here and initiate
Forwards.
the epic combat here. And then I want them to get up first, and then Valerie can go over there and do their thing.
Can you make an epic pose? I need inspiration.
Yep, there we go. So I don't want them attacking them first. I want you guys going up the steps. Up the steps, please. There we go.
Mine. I won't let you take them from me.
Oh yes, they are yours, as you say. The lands are yours because you said so, apparently. So, the egomaniac over there, I'm hoping he's going to go down like a sack of bricks this time that we're going straight for him. Looks like they have a potion of bark skin on this guy down here. So, Valerie,
Let
go
us
down
strike
there.
as one.
You go down there. Our friends are going to help you over there, so that should, I'm hoping, be
Do
enough.
not falter.
And all of you, we need to get you all up there. No, Alyrra, you go after him. We don't want to go back down. Let's go. No. Other way, thank you. Don't know why they feel the need to go back down the stairs. And so, Reganar, I want you getting over there. I want Alyrra getting in there
Tear them
first
apart!
to initiate the sort of aggression out of him. Let's get you over there. Let's try and go for the wolf first, since I think that can sometimes knock people prone, which negatively affects your AC by a bunch, if I remember correctly. And now we want you, I think, to use a little bit of grease down here. Let's see if you can catch some of those people down there. And then Octavia, I want you to use grease. And maybe catch some people in this direction, depending what happens here. So you have grease right there, and then some grease right there. I'm not sure if there's much that you can do. Okay, so attack rolls. Let's do some arcane accuracy with you. And let's go ahead and get in for some smackaloons.
I can't keep this up much longer.
Alright, so Valerie's getting hit a little bit and taking some abuse, but that's kind of what we expected to happen here. Let's go after the wolf and try and kill that as soon as possible. And Grease is going to try and help out Valerie down here to knock people prone. Valerie just went down, which is unfortunate. But the Stag Lord is getting smacked. Let's see if we can take him down here. Looks like we have a bandit heading our way, so let's try and kill the Stag Lord right now.
You deserved it.
Come on, kill, kill! Yes, we got him!
Oh, after so long, I learned to stand. Okay,
so it looks like this guy is in a lot of pain, and his ego has also been very wounded, as we can see from his dialogue. Very muscular, very scarred. I imagine that from what we learned in previous episodes, his father kind of was an asshole, abusive father towards him in his youth, and then he sort of got payback on his father once he got, old enough to stand on his own 2 feet, and then he rose up in sort of rebellion against his father and really started to take it back to his father and I guess get revenge and payback on him. And so these scars are probably from his haunted past of an abusive father, I would imagine. Looks like he's sort of like a druid ranger type with a bow and then some kind of sort of animal helmet here. Okay, so Stag Lord clutches something resembling a charm in his bloody fingers, seemingly placing the last of his hope into it. You hear a snapping sound, and then a dull sigh bursts from the Stag Lord's chest. So we have a couple of options here. Your crimes cannot be forgiven. This seems more like maybe lawful... I don't know if it's lawful good or lawful neutral or whatever it is. But it's lawful neutral, apparently. Where it's more like a lawful, execution for your crimes. We're just going to do it here and now. And, the trial would just be going through the busy work, so to speak. Lawful evil is these lands can only have one ruler, and so that's why you've got to die, because in order for you, in order for me to rule, you've got to die, since there can only be one person. There's not enough room for two rulers in this land, so chaotic good. I know the pain you've endured in your life, but that doesn't excuse the atrocities you've committed. And then that's kind of like a more merciful sort of way of looking at it. And then chaotic evil is being the dickiest of dicks that you can be, where you spit on the Stag Lord. Ha! What a wimp! I have no idea why everyone is so scared about you, you little wimpy wimp chicken wuss. So, yeah, I'm not going to do chaotic evil, obviously. I'm sure on an evil playthrough, that kind of would be the thing to be like playing egomaniac or something like that has an even bigger ego than the Stag Lord. But yeah, so I think we're going to do the chaotic good one here. Lawful neutral, again, would keep us more in line with lawful alignment to try and make sure we don't lose like our paladin lawful good powers or whatever it is. But if I can find a mod to reset my alignment, I will do that, because this is kind of crap to have to worry about my alignment in this game. So I'm just going to do the more merciful one, because that's just the way the character goes. So I know of the pain you've endured in your life, but that doesn't excuse the atrocities you've committed.
Spare me your compassion, your judgment. I'll sleep now. I'll wait for her, my dream.
I wonder who her is. I wonder if it's that one dryad that visited us when we were resting and sleeping and everything like that. I wonder if that's the same her that he's talking about, or if it's like a special someone that maybe he dreams of like being his wife as he's a lord or something like that. I'm not quite sure, but alright, so he's dead. We have to get back to combat here. I wish that there were an option to where you spare his life and just let him go, but I guess there isn't an option like that, at least not that was available to us. There wasn't anything that indicated that there was an option that was locked behind an alignment choice, but, what can you do? Okay, so now we want Alyrra and company to start heading towards this bandit and take care of them. Let's get some more inspired courage going. Wrong way. Wrong way, Lindsay. That is a bad choice for you, Lindsay. You don't want to go that way. No, I don't want you to do that. I want you to go there. Lindsay, get out of there, please. Move out of the way. Let Lindsay go through. Thank you. Sometimes the pathfinding kind of, irks me a bit. They don't make smart choices. Lindsay, you don't want to go that way. I want you to go this way. Force yourself through Reganar if you have to. You're a halfling. You should be able to move through his space. That's kind of what they do, Wrong way. Yeah, Jesus, please. Yeah, the pathfinding, it just kind of conflicts with each other. Oh, Alyrra goes this way, so Lindsay tries to overcorrect and then go that way. It's just like, come on, stop it. Alright, now let's go down the stairs and help out Valerie and okay, let's take care of the bandits down there. You kind of want Alyrra to get into the front here, so that way Akiros doesn't whack Reganar and Amiri to death. So let's have you two get over there. Alyrra, you go. So who's going down? Oh, I think Lindsay got hit. Alright, so I might want to get those two out of there. Let's get you two out of there then and get you on the stairs, if possible. Let's get them out of trouble since they're going to go down pretty quickly if they get targeted. I'm hoping that the grease can try and keep these people from going down. I wonder if Cressel survived all of that. I'm not quite sure if she did. Okay. Let's take care of this dude. Getting up on him, hopefully. Come on, you guys. Alright, so let's let that use its duration now. So Alyrra's holding up okay here, AC-wise. Now he's targeting the other dudes. Alright, they're almost dead. I think I might want to use one more grease here. Maybe some magic missile might actually help. Let's do that. Alright, never mind. No magic missile needed. Let's get down here and take care of the cleric. Was Cressel in this madness of bodies? Oh, I don't want to run through the grease. Is Cressel anywhere to be found down here? Bandit Alchemist, where's Cressel at? If Cressel didn't live there, I might want to redo this because, like, I kind of want to go back with Cressel alive. I don't know what's going on over here with this thing. Yeah, I mean, Cressel might have died there. I don't see her around anywhere. There's the owlbear. There's some bandits. Where's Cressel at? Apparently there's something that we missed down there. Yeah, Cressel might have bitten the dust there, which is kind of unfortunate because I think I'd want to go back and redo the combat if she died. Yeah, that kind of sucks. Let's see if she shows up in the loot list here. The Stag Lord shows up. I'm not seeing Cressel in there anywhere. So I don't know if Cressel died or not, but
Let us not hesitate.
I guess we're not going to really know right now if she did or not. I wasn't like being able to pay like extremely close attention to what was going on there. What are you doing? Stop. We already looted the Stag Lord. We don't need to go back up there. Alright, well, I mean, that's kind of sucks. I don't know if we need to activate something. Maybe go in there and maybe we find Cressel somewhere. I don't know. Yeah, I'll go ahead and save the game here. Just so that way we have a save where we won the fight, but like I don't want to have to go into whatever we're doing with Cressel not alive. So I shall return. I shall go ahead and pause the recording here, and I'm going to go ahead and go through the fight again and then see if I can make it through. Well, I might just record the fight again and just see about trying to save Cressel here, but I'll go ahead and pause the recording and I'll get back to you guys and see you in a second. Okay, so I'm back and I have my, I'm not sure what it is, a quintet or whatever of incompetence here of 6. My party of 6, I'm not sure if it's a quintet or a quickstet or whatever the number is. You have like, you know, you have a quads, triplets, whatever. So yeah, quartet, quintet. I'm not quite sure what represents 6, but whatever it is, we need to clear up the incompetence, and we need to clear it up fast so that way Cressel can actually live, so that way we can get her back to the merchant fort safe and sound. Let's send Valerie around first, I would guess. And then let's send the party up there.
I am your shield.
I basically just want to get Valerie over here, so that way I can take as much attention as possible off of Cressel here, since she seems to be like dual wielding like hand axes or something. Maybe her AC isn't very good, so I can't have to worry about that a bit more.
What you want?
Miri, I don't want you going in first. Okay, so let's send you up there then.
Hey!
Okay, so let's go ahead and have Valerie go more in this direction this time. Ragnar, that's not the direction I want you to be going. Keep going that way. No, wrong way, dude. Wrong way. Jeez, the pathfinding is a bit of a problem. I just can't.
I won't let
can't
you take them
overstate
from
it.
me.
Okay, so they're the target of everything right now. Let's get Octavia right away to do the grease action. And then Lindsay, I'm hoping, can get in there and do some more grease to help out her friend. Okay, so now let's get in on the Stag Lord as soon as we can. Ragnar, go around, for fuck's sake. Come on. Gee, come on. Go around. Okay, I want you to go there. I want you to move. There we go. And then I want Ragnar to get over here so he can start engaging the Stag Lord. And then I want you to initiate some grease on the stairs, so that way this dude hopefully gets knocked down before he can get there. Come on, cast it. There we go, just in time. So my hope is that we can kill the Stag Lord before this guy gets back up from the grease spell. And then let's have you inspire some more courage. Valerie's kind of hanging in there as best she can. Where is Cressel? Did she die again? I don't know. Did she? Oh, she's right there, so she's still alive. Right next to Valerie there in this big old mess of icons and everything. Let's have you attack the person that's prone and easier to hit. Okay, and now let's have you move over there.
Serves you right.
Let's kill him. Valerie's still hanging in there. Cressel's hanging in there too. That bandit's getting back up. Dovon appeared from out of nowhere. This is bad. Very bad. Now Octavia's gonna get really messed up. Somehow Alyrra somehow got knocked down. This guy must have used some magic to sneak up on us. Yeah, this is going bad. Oh, this is going really bad. This is going really bad.
I can't. Oh, after so long.
Yada yada yada. I'm so over you, Stag Lord. Spare me your compassion. Yeah, well, spare me all of your bandits doing all these nasty, ghastly things. If Cressel survives, I'll just try and take this result, but yeah, this turned into disaster pretty quick. Let's take care of Dovon because he's a thorn in our side. So, Cressel, did you survive? Are you in here? There you are. right now, Alyrra's just kind of getting a bit manhandled by this dude. Don't hit us! Holy shit! Don't hit us, please! I don't know if the alchemist does friendly fire there, but it sounds like it. Like I saw a reflex save there, and I thought that they were smacking us with that. Let's move you over a little bit so you're not hitting...
Strike as one.
Just trying to make sure she doesn't fall into the grease pit here. Alright, so I guess the alchemist bomb isn't hitting us, at least, so maybe we have a chance here. Valerie got knocked down by the grease, so it sucks. Okay, so it looks like the owlbear is kind of helping here. Where's Crystal at? She fell down from the grease or something over there. Yeah, this is pretty messy, but I'm probably going to take this result if we win and Crystal survives, so I can't really complain too much here, even though it went pretty terribly for us. I just want to get Valerie out of this grease.
I can't keep this up much longer.
Yeah, the grease is really mucking up my bandit allies here as well. Alyrra's able to make it through the grease okay, it seems.
Justice!
She's a paladin, and that's kind of what she does. Okay, so I think we need to go over and try and get to the cleric now. And let Valerie handle that dude. I guess the cleric's taken care of. We have one foe left. Come on, Amiri, let's get down. See if we can get past the grease without tripping. Now let's get into the fight, and hopefully we can charge in a little bit for the final blow. There we go. Get him! There we go. Smack him. Whop him. Get him! Come on! There we go. Yeah, that fight went really bad, but somehow we still won. I don't know how we did it, but somehow we still won the fight, and Cressel is alive and well. So I'm going to just take this result for what it's worth, even though I'm in the red on hit points of everybody. Alyrra was somehow able to manage through that entire fight and kind of hold her own there against all of her foes, which I'm quite happy about. So, yep, the mage armor is still going in case we get... Oh, we have the grease to handle with. Apparently, Octavia, she fell prone to that. Fell victim to her own magic here. Actually, I think it was technically... Lindsay that cast that one, but falling victim to her own magic, apparently, so... And the spell is going to persist for a while, so we're still going to have to deal with that. Let's go ahead and loot everything, and this bandit seems to not be able to keep upright, so that kind of sucks for them. And they're just standing there, apparently. They're not going to move from that one spot. They're going to keep on tripping and slipping, rumbling, stumbling, fumbling. There were a couple of things around here that I wanted to go ahead and loot that I forgot about, so let me go ahead and take care of that real quick. Having the owlbear there, I think, kind of helped turn the tide in our favor because it offers up a lot of DPS from what I assume is a super high strength. Oh, I think this is a lockpick one, so I want to save my game. I don't want to have to reload the game after winning a combat here. Let's save it right away before doing anything else, which is what I should have done. So our quick stat or quintet or whatever of incompetence was able to at least emerge victorious in that one.
Anything is possible.
Let's inspire some competence here. And then Octavia, go in and pick that lock, please. Thank you. An amulet and a wand. Alrighty. That's going to, I think, help out our dear Alyrra, I would think. A dodge bonus to AC against ranged attacks. What's the other amulet do? Natural armor bonus. Do we already have a natural armor bonus? I don't think that we do. I think it's just unarmored defense. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't seem that we have any natural armor right now that we're benefiting from, so I'm pretty sure this would give us extra AC against everything. Indeed it would. So I'm going to go ahead and take that, and then, I don't know, maybe if we can go ahead and give this to one of our backlining type dudes, or dudettes. Technically our backliners are both ladies. Lovely ladies, I might add, but, so, Nymph's Gift, who do we want to give it to? I don't know, maybe Lindsay might be an okay candidate there, just to make sure that she doesn't get hit by archers quite as much. I think that dodge bonuses are always going to stack, if I remember correctly, with the rules. Competence bonus on mobility checks. Who's the best at mobility right now? You're good. You're really good. You're good. So her athletics isn't very good, but her mobility is very good. It's kind of nice to have someone with both mobility and athletics in case there's like certain scenarios where having both of them is very helpful. Like some of those storybook type events can sometimes have multiple things that happen in sequence, so having someone that can do both can help. But since you're not wearing boots, let's just have you take the mobility since you're already very, very good at them with mobility checks. And then we have a belt to Constitution. I think I'd rather have the Dexterity though. This already gives her a bonus to Constitution. This gives a belt of Strength. Also Strength. And I could give you the belt of Constitution here. Help you out a little bit with your hit points, as well as your saving throws might also be helpful. What does this do? Stag Helmet. Plus 1 insight bonus to attack rolls against flat-footed and flanked targets. So I can go ahead and give this to, I guess Valerie might be okay. But either of my two damage dealing characters it might be arguably better on, since they're more likely to hit on attacks, since they're not like tanking. Since fighting defensively has a major impact on your ability to hit things. He does much better as far as his attack bonus, it would seem, because he has like a weapon focus right now, and she's using power attack. Yeah, let's go ahead and give her the insight bonus to attack rolls, I would think, because we already have, I think, a helmet with the headband here that we really want for charisma stuff. So let's go ahead and give that there, then. Another Ring of Protection, which I think, I guess since Lindsay already has Shellen's Embrace, that is kind of useless, to be honest, but it's more of a story thing, I guess, that the developers wanted. Let's give you the Ring of Protection. Plus 1 resistance bonus on saving throws and cold resistance 10, so that's actually pretty nice. So I guess if we want cold resistance, I guess just giving it on the main character here, it'll allow her to tank more magical type effects, I would think, and maybe some magic weapons can deal cold damage as well. Now I think everyone has a Cloak of Resistance. So Bracers of Archery, so I think we would want to give this to Lindsay, since oftentimes Octavia is using Acid Splash as a cantrip, so I think that she's often going to go ahead and be using that anyway, so Lindsay is usually the only one that is consistently using a ranged weapon. Ragnar can use one pretty decently as well with his abilities, but I think that we'll just go ahead and put it on Lindsay for now. What else? Woodland's Aegis. +2 studded leather that allows the wearer to cast the Barkskin spell once per day. Okay. Well then, do we have anyone that can use this pretty well? I think you can use light armor. I don't know if like studded leather is going to have like arcane spell failure chance. Let me double check. I think that his class allows him to do that without worrying about it with light armor, I think. Magic's proficiencies. Magic spells while wearing light armor without incurring no arcane spell failure chance. Okay, so I think that we might give armor to him then, since he's not going to have to worry about spell failure with his armor. So that'd be 5 armor class. Armor check penalty, yada yada. This has no armor check penalty, so that's nice. And I guess, well, if I'm going to cast Barkskin, what does Barkskin do? I forget exactly what it does. I know it's supposed to boost your AC. Obviously, I don't want to put it on her because of unarmored defense. Yeah, let's just go ahead and put it on you. That way you can cast Barkskin on yourself at the very least. And then it also won't hold back his ability checks as much because this is a -1 armor check penalty for like athletics and stuff. Savage bow. I assume that this was the bow that the Stag Lord was using. So the this +1 composite longbow grants its wielder the ability to cast Aspect of the Falcon spell 3 times per day as a first level druid, 1 minute each time, and then when the wielder assumes the Aspect of the Falcon, they gain a +3 competence bonus on perception skill checks, and lots of they get a bonus to attack rolls with ranged weapons, and critical multiplier increases. Okay, well, that's a pretty damn good bow. We don't really have like a dedicated archer in the party, but I mean, if we're going to be doing it, you know, I guess maybe we might want to go ahead and put the braces of archery on someone else to take advantage of the bow if we want to use it. Ragnar can do a pretty decent job with the bow, so because he can just deal a crap ton of damage for his strength adding to it. So let's go ahead and put the bow in there, and then braces of archery. We'll just give them to Ragnar in case we want to have him smash in with the bow instead of the scimitar. Anything else? That's looks like oh, the Stag Lord's charm. Okay, a charm once worn by the Stag Lord. It's smeared with blood. It probably used to have something inside, but it's empty now. So I assume that we maybe get that fixed as part of the progression of the storyline here, I would imagine. Bastard Sword +1. Yes, please. Valerie, you will get that, and I hope be very happy about it. So, yep, +1. And then we have an Agile Rapier +1. Just kind of going through the loot here since we picked up a bunch of stuff. So, Agile, I think, would mean that it's the same thing as like the current weapon that we have, right? Agile, yep. So we can use it for, I think, the attack and damage rolls, I would believe. Let's check the info again just to make sure I'm good. Agile weapons, yada yada. With the weapon finesse feat, can use it to apply it to the damage rolls. Alright, so this is going to be very helpful. And I think it's going to be better than the weapon that we already have. So let's go ahead and give that right there. Because, yeah, this is not very much damage. Times for a critical hit modifier, granted, but I think I kind of like the idea of this a little bit better. It has a higher critical hit range, more base damage, and a rapier, I think, is kind of more befitting of the sort of duelist sort of archetype, one melee weapon going in there and trying to, you know, stab things while being agile and adept with your sort of defenses there. So, got a more fitting weapon for Alyrra now, which is great. And let's go ahead and organize our loot here. And then there's the Wand of Vanish that we picked up before. This could be useful. for situations where we know that we want to get into stealth. So I think that Octavia should be able to use this wand, I believe. Yep, so if we need this wand to vanish, we can most certainly use it out of combat. We also might just be able to go ahead and sell it since it's a decent sell value. It's not that much gold, so we could just hold on to it and use it. Whereas like the magic weapons and stuff, they're going to be selling for pretty pennies, so. Alright, well I think I've gotten all of this stuff taken care of. There's nothing else that's really worth noting that I can see. Breastplate +1, I guess. Yep, I guess breastplate +1 can go to Amiri here. Increase her AC by a little bit. May not help that much, but every little bit helps. I think that's about it. I guess we can put this potion in that slot. There's not much else to worry about here, I think. I guess technically we can go ahead and give him an enlarged person potion. More tongue twisting going on here. Now we'll start looking around and dealing with what we have left over here. Now that I dealt with all the assigning gear around, let's just save the game so I don't forget to do it all over again in case like there's some trap that we activate that kills us and then we have to reload or save. Since, you know, I'm not putting it against the game to have a trap lying around right after we won a huge battle.
I believed in you so much, Stag Lord. And now you're just a dead sack of bones.
Indeed, very blunt, Cressel, very blunt, but I appreciate your honesty, so not the way that I would put it, but you know, what you say is, I guess, no less true in some ways, so looks like we have another magic weapon here, a kukri. I think that's probably like some kind of monk weapon, if I remember correctly. The place that bandits have chosen for their fortress is possibly the best to start a city. It's suitable both for life, trade, and defense. Yeah, so it's kind of like on a cliffside. We have some sort of nice little pre-rendered artwork in the background here. Not sure if the quality of this artwork goes up if you turn up like the graphic settings, but looks nice. Looks nice enough. Kind of looks like an old school sort of painting style. Just looking around in case there's other little hidden goodies laying about. Our animal companions are kind of tagging along with us while we are searching around every nook and cranny. Alright, and then if I remember there was some other... Yep, there's the cleric that we can loot, and then I think that there might have been some other things to open up over here, if I remember. Let's gather up this. Basic loot, nothing special. At least the grease has gone away, so this bandit isn't slipping and sliding everywhere for the rest of their life. See, I didn't know if there was anything else that we missed over here, because I just remembered that there were some icons indicating that there was some loot that we had missed before. Just checking to make sure I didn't miss anything here. Okay. And then we already got the stuff back there. The owlbear is sitting over here. Guess we can't really interact with it right now, so I guess it's kind of served its intended purpose as far as the game goes, I guess. So I guess we can't talk to it again. Let's save the game before going inside here, because I assume that something's going to happen once we go in here. Been a while since I've gone through this section of the game, so not sure if we encounter anything in here or not. Maybe let's inspire a bit of confidence and just run around here to see if we like find stuff here. Okay, so we have a trap that way, so let's have Octavia deal with that. Save the game, because that's just the way it goes. We are very low on health, and I don't want us to, like, die and have to reload anyways. So that's the only reason here. Just in case. Another one. Apparently the Stag Lord likes to keep his household private because he doesn't want people getting into his stuff. Okay, so we take care of those. I just want to go around here and deal with like all the traps first, because if I already found 2 over here, there's probably a couple more that I have to deal with. I imagine if there's a couple over here, then I'm probably going to have to look around and make sure I deal with a couple more. So let's kind of just take it slowly, and as I thought, there's a trap. Octavia, get in there and let's do it. Looks like there is someone over there behind the imprisoned by the Stag Lord. Who is it? Nugra. Alright, so I think that this is the person that's referenced in these old letters that we found by the old abandoned hut. So I would assume that Nugra, or if I remember correctly, Nugra is the Stag Lord's father that was an abusive asshole when, you know, his son was growing up, and then his son ended up becoming a worse person than the father did, and so because the father was hard on the son ended up becoming worse than the father, and it was just kind of like circular cycle of abuse and just being really bad towards other people, and yeah, it was not a good time for anybody involved.
I've broken a nail!
You're really gonna care about breaking a nail when we just almost died? Come on.
I did as you asked.
Yeah, don't get too cocky. You almost broke a nail or something like that. Alright, so now let's go through all the loot, since I hope that all the traps are taken care of now at this point.
Godspeed.
Alright, so let's go ahead and save the game again now that we've dealt with the trap there. And then we're going to kind of loot the place, and then we're going to talk to Nugra over here. Just want to make sure I don't miss anything before some story type event does things. Because like sometimes with story based events, I don't know if it's going to like fast travel us or put us into a different location. So I just want to go ahead and make sure I don't forget to loot anything and get stuff that I can't go back and get again. Well, I thankfully don't have to reload my save because Octavia picked the lock anyway, so Octavia was like right next to it, I guess. What's this? The luxurious bed is untouched. It seems that it hasn't been slept in for some time. Okay. So yeah, I guess the Stag Lord probably doesn't get very much sleep around here because he probably doesn't even sleep in here. He's probably just doing everything outside like a madman who doesn't get sleep. Like he acts like he doesn't get much sleep from how cranky he was. I guess maybe he sleeps in here with all these bottles of beer. Oh, nope, I don't. Jeez Louise, I don't like having to reload saves over doing lockpicks and backtracking, so let's do this real quick.
Done and done!
Padded armor +1 and punching dagger +1. Nothing to write home about, but at the very least, anything that's magical, you can sell it for a pretty good price, so I'm not gonna complain, you know. Padded armor +1, even though it's kind of useless as armor, it's still gonna sell pretty well, so. Okay, unlock that one. Very nice. I know that there's like a quick save option, but I don't remember what the hotkey is, so maybe next time for next episode I'll be able to get to that. Yeah, I just like doing the hard save just to make sure that, you know, I don't have to worry about having like a bunch of quick save files slowing down the game later on, since having a bunch of save files in your save game folder later on in the game can kind of slow down the game if you save a bit too much, so I try and keep it to a minimum here. Okay, let's stop, save the game, and then we're going to talk to Nugra here and see what the Stag Lord's father has to say about all this. Hopefully there's not like another trap that's going to go ahead and kill us here. This exit to Fort Backyard looks abandoned. It seems that bandits barely use it. I think it's supposed to say, this exit to the fort's backyard looks abandoned. It seems that bandits barely use it. That seems like a bit of a typo, but yep, so I guess apparently this is supposed to be like some sort of side sort of exit from this little fortress building area. But they've just kind of barricaded it here and they don't really ever decide to use it, so... Alright, didn't know that we'd have another thing to loot there, so let's save it one more time, and now we're going to get into talking to Nugra. Delaying the inevitable here. I guess we have to unlock it too, so there's that. Thankfully, why is Nugra hostile towards us? We just... I don't want to fight this dude, but apparently it's going to make me.
Do not hold back.
Get out of the way, Octavia.
You out of our story.
Oh, this family.
Alright, so that hurt quite a bit. I did not expect a fight here. Yeah, so Miri is our only hope, and she went down.
I always survive.
Share the joyous news with Oleg. We all died, and we died happily ever after. Yay! I didn't think we would be fighting Nugra. I don't know if this is influenced at all by us failing to infiltrate the fort silently and talking to the Stag Lord before fighting him. I have no idea, but like, he's not fighting us now, so like, what's the deal here? Like, what's the deal? I mean, yeah, that's fine if you want to do crap like that, so we're just gonna go ahead and prepare then, if he wants to pick a fight with us, and do that. Alright, so Octavia, let's go ahead and have you open up the door.
Time for fun!
And let's get you guys going in there. Octavia, you just stay back here. We don't need you getting in there.
Let us strike as one.
Get in there. Gee, Lindsay, come on, you. Get out of the way. Thank you. I need you to get out of the way so our friends can get through the door. There we go. Let's see if we can get everyone fighting. Let's renew the duration of that. And then maybe a bit of magic missile is in order.
Avenge me. Survive. I always survive.
Well, we won somehow. I don't know why Nugra was fighting us there. Like, he was imprisoned. Like, shouldn't he be thankful that we broke him out of there? Like, why couldn't we talk to him? I don't get it, but okay, that's fine, I guess. I was hoping we could talk to him first before doing any fighting, but apparently Nugra was not having any of that, so maybe he's just a very vindictive man, so I don't know if that's just the way it is or not, but Yeah, it seems kind of weird that this dude was like... It seems kind of weird to me that Negro was geared up even though he was imprisoned inside the cell that I guess his son put him in to, you know, bring him out whenever he needed his father to do something as a druid, and then they put him back in there to like imprison him and control him. Like, I don't know how he was geared up with the club and hide armor and all this different stuff. You know, it's just like, what the heck? I mean, if he's able to go ahead and do all that magic that he just did, like, how could he not just go ahead and break his way out of there? You know, like, I don't know. That's just me. That is just me. So, is there anything else over here that we need to worry about? I'm trying to see if I can
Let us
do
press
some
on.
movement shenanigans, just making sure I'm not missing anything here, since this is a pretty important area, I would think. And we also, obviously, we leveled up here, as we can see by the plus symbols and the sort of sound notification there that happens when you level up. So let's check out the crumpled note here. That seems to be pretty important. Where is it? That's the written orders for Cressel from the Stag Lord. Nugra's crumpled note. I'll take a quick drink of water here, and I will be right back to go ahead and read this note. Alright, I have returned. I got a quick drink of water just to help out with my, my mouth and my throat getting too dry. So, happens when I'm talking for a long time with a Let's Playing episode. Doing it solo is just kind of like that. So I'll read the note. Nugra's crumpled note. He calls to her again, his queen. He drinks. He calls to her. He drinks again. I have no idea who she is. I can't even tell if she exists outside his own drunken vision. But I know he'll call to her, and then he'll crash around angrily, yelling that she didn't come. Then he'll come for me. I obey the rules. I do as he says. I keep silent until he allows me to speak, but he still beats me every time he drinks and rages. He said he'll burn my hands in acid next time. Will I still be able to write? I blank. So he referenced this she in his final words before he died. I'm not sure who this she is. Maybe the guy was some kind of like drunken schizophrenic ranger druid person that, was kind of going crazy in his older years. I don't know, but apparently there was some she that was influencing him in some way, or that he had fallen for. I don't know. Maybe it's a romantic interest that does or doesn't exist. Maybe it's the same dryad that visited us at, various points in the story here. I don't know if it's one and the same or not, but because the dryad did look like very womanly and very good looking, I might add. But yeah, so there's that going on. It seems to be an extra little wrinkle here in the story. The Stag Lord seems to have had some influence, maybe not so much influence as sort of rendezvous with some lady or some, again, vision of a lady. Maybe it's just something that they made up in their mind to comfort themselves because they were kind of unhappy that they'd be a lord and they don't have like a wife or something. I have no idea. Usually when you rule over a land, at least in like medieval fantasy type times, usually if you rule over something, you like want to have a wife, and then you can kind of be like a power couple, and then you can have, children who can be heirs for your lands and all the stuff that you have and for ruling over it. So, like, I'm not exactly sure what's going on with this she that he referenced and that Nugra referenced, but apparently something was up here that you aren't really privy to yet. So let's go ahead and level up here. I know that Monk has evasion, which is going to be very helpful with the dexterity saving throws. Obviously, if we encounter more like fireballs and alchemist enemies and things like that, this could be pretty helpful. So, like, evasion with Paladin saving throws is a very strong ability for just tanking damage and not taking much damage. And then you can also get a bonus feat as well that way. So maybe we can get some feat to go along with it. And then 4th level Paladin, we would get channel positive energy, which would restore more hit points for the party. And I believe that the hospital can channel positive energy as its own resource. It's not like tied to other resources like with the other paladins out there. So that's one good thing with the hospital or paladin. So what to do? Should I go for evasion and dexterity saves, or should I just do what's better for the party and keep on going in paladin levels here? I mean, getting an extra bonus feat here I think is pretty helpful just for now. I think we might need it more than the channel positive energy healing. But then again, it's equal to, it scales with charisma modifier, so maybe this is just going to be better in the long run, or for the next level at the very least. Since it's 3 times plus her charisma modifier per day. So that would be like 3 plus 6, I think, for 9. So maybe that's kind of worth it then. So we can go Paladin for this level. And then maybe next level we can do the level 2 for evasion and the bonus feat. And then we can just go the rest of the way in Paladin maybe. So that's kind of what I'm looking at here. Okay, and now that we have the 3 points in mobility that we need, now we can just go all the rest of the way in persuasion. And using, because the main character having persuasion is going to be very, very helpful. And so in the long run, I think that having this is going to be helpful for lots of the out of combat interactions that happen with only the main character and nobody else being able to do the talking, as it were. Selective channel. So this is for if you have like an undead party member, then you can make sure that you don't hurt them when you channel positive energy, basically. Don't think that this is really needed for us, since I don't think it's going to be that relevant. Weapon focus, on the other hand, I mean, we could do weapon focus, but I think that we haven't really decided on a weapon yet that we for sure want to go for. I think dueling swords is something that I would like to go for, but I'm not sure. I don't think that we have proficiency in it, because we don't have like a deity that gives us like proficiency in it, for example. Yeah, because like a dueling sword, you can get proficiency if you take like a fighter level for the duelist fighter subclass. So let's see what else that we have in here. We have dodge. We can probably just take this to get the dodge bonus to AC. That would probably be pretty good. And there's extra things for paladins. Down the line, we could get some teamwork feats to help us out. So that way we can go up to the front lines with Valerie and make some good use of teamwork feats at some point. Obviously having a shield would allow us to do like a shield wall feat, but I don't think that we're going to be doing that because we have the monk levels. Armor focus, we're not going to need that since we're unarmored. Yeah, I think that just, I mean, going for dodge, I think that Scaled Fist, if the bonus feat, could also get dodge, so I'm not sure if we need it with this feat. We could do it maybe with the next feat that we get with the monk level there. So I don't know, maybe we could just go with toughness for some extra hit points. Blind fight could also be helpful since one of the people did go invisible in that last fight, so maybe blind fight could also help us out a good bit. This could also help out with the combat reflexes to make sure we can make more opportunity attacks and kind of force the enemies to not try and just run by us quite as much. Yeah, I guess we can just do, I think, maybe blind fight now, and then we can do, I would think, dodge with the scaled fist bonus feat next level. So this thing means that if someone like a spellcaster is going to be like invisible, then they're not going to go ahead and catch us off guard, essentially, like they did in the last fight. So I think that's what we're going to do here. All right. And let's go ahead and complete that level. Oh, and I always kind of forgot one thing here. I think that, what was it? Abilities. Celestial Resilience. Does this give us cold resistance? It does. I'm not sure if the cold resistance stacks with the resistance that we get from the item. So maybe for that reason we should give that to Valerie, so that way we can get the most use out of the cloak. I think that's a fair point. I think we should give the cloak to Valerie here. Where's the cloak? So let's give that to her so that she ends up having the cold resistance, since we already have some from our race. Okay, let's level up Valerie. And I think we just keep on going and fight her here. I don't think there's anything else that we can do until we unlock the Stalwart Defender. So let's just keep on going and fight her. And then, I guess Perception's good. And then I think we might... Maybe Lore of Religion could be okay, since we don't have the Cleric in the party right now. And she's the only one that's like all that skilled with religion. Yeah, I think it makes sense. Let's just do religion, I guess. Perception and religion isn't too shabby, so let's just keep on going with that. Now that she has the 3 points in mobility that she needs for the defensive fighting, I think that she can just focus on that. So yeah, we can just focus on, I guess, Bastard Swords, since she's already very good at them. Armor focus could also be good as well. We already have heavy armor focus, though, I think. Yeah, I think we already did heavy armor focus. So let's see what else that we have here. So we could take Crane Wing, that I think we didn't get with before with the monk level or whatever. So Crane Wing basically makes it to where, I guess Crane Wing is only when you have one hand free. So yeah, Crane Wing is only like for our character and not for Valerie, since she uses a shield, so that's not gonna really work for her. Okay, so Missile Shield could be good a little bit. Shield Wall could be good if we have like a party member with a shield, but we don't have any right now that really use a shield, so don't think that we're going to take that one. Okay, so that's if we want to move her away from someone and not have to worry about opportunity attacks, but I don't think that's going to be too necessary here. Yeah, I think we can just go ahead and go maybe with just like a weapon focus. Since we already have the armor focus, and we already have like dodge and things like that. I would think shield focus, heavy armor focus, dodge, toughness. So yeah, I think that's probably pretty good here. And then maybe like back to back. Yeah, maybe like back to back in the future for comboing with Alyrra could be pretty good. To make sure that they can both go in together and not get flanked as much as far as like them getting bonuses. So we can kind of offset like flanking and stuff. So let's go ahead and do Bastard Swords since she's already like proficient in them. So and then weapon specialization, we're going to do Bastard Swords. So this is basically going to increase the offense a little bit, just to try and make it to where we're going to actually be able to make some attacks and hopefully hit with them. Now let's go to Amiri. And I think we're just going to keep on cruising in Fighter with the two-handed Fighter here. Just try and make her a bit of a glass cannon because, like, Barbarian is, like, it's very iffy, at least with these old rules. If you had, like, resistance to damage and all these things, like in 5th edition D&D, to where it's extremely useful, then yeah, that would be great, but that's just not the way it is in this game, so let's just keep on going in two-handed Fighter. And then Athletics is going to be good, and then Perception and Nature. Could also consider like some mobility with her, so we have someone that can do both mobility and athletics in the same thing, but I think we should be okay here. Religion with her would be okay too if it were a class skill with her classes, but it's not, so it's not something that we're going to be able to do with Amiri in the with Amiri in the party. So Cleaving Finish. What does this do? If you make a melee attack and your target drops to... Okay, so you can cleave through an enemy and then go to another enemy within your reach. So this is kind of like optional cleave rules in tabletop games where if you do like overkill damage, you can do extra damage to like an opponent. Except in this case, it's making like another attack. So that's actually not too shabby. Let's go ahead and take that one. And then weapon specialization, I guess we'll just do Bastard Sword. Because she's using the giant Bastard Sword, so that's just kind of the way that she fights. Her AC is never going to be all that great, so let's just make it to where she can hit hard and maybe have some reach with her huge sword to do it from behind our frontline AC tanks. That's just kind of the strategy that I have there. And I'm not really sure where to go with you, so we'll just keep on going in Magus. I think technically later on we can do Dragon Disciple. If we have the Arcana for him to do that, so... Yep, so we can get her, or his Arcana up enough, we can probably do Dragon Disciple. Okay, so let's do that. Let's do Arcana, get that up to 5 for the Dragon Disciple. Maybe use Magic Device would be okay. Maybe we can just do some Perception just to make sure that he has it. So he has some Arcana and so a decent amount of Athletics there. Might help just to have a bit more Perception in the party. Okay, so not sure where to go here, so let's see what the options are. We can do Armor Focus for light armor. That would be okay, but I might want to go for something more offensive oriented. Let's see, we can go with Power Attack. I'm not sure if Toughness is going to help with the middling AC and low Constitution. So what does Arcane Strike do? Swift action, you can imbue your weapons so a fraction of your power. +1 damage and treat as magic. And then the bonus can increase for every 5 levels. So I think if we take it now, I think it would be like a +2 bonus to damage rolls. Okay, well that doesn't seem too bad actually. And then we could take maybe dodge just to go ahead and get the extra AC no matter what. Make them last a bit more in combat maybe. See, I'm not sure if this is like a passive ability that you can activate or if you have to like click on it to do it each time. So I'll figure that out as we go along, I guess. And now spells. Let's go ahead and see about these. Mirror image, resist energy, and blur already. So what should we do? Don't need to worry about the armor check penalty right now because he has that studded leather that doesn't have armor check penalty. And glitter dust is already something that my main character can do. Web is something that 2 other characters can do. Don't really care about damage dealing spells with this character, since I'd rather just have them go in there and slice and dice, and I think use like touch spells, I think is what they usually do. So like if I remember the his magus skills correctly, I think it allows him to use like touch based spells as part of his abilities, so maybe another touch-based sort of attack here could end up being good for him. And then these types of spells I think are usually better if it's one of our full casters that are using these instead of him. Whereas he's more likely to be in like touch range for attacks. I guess Shocking Grasp can already deal 5d6 though per caster level, so I think we're level 5 caster now, if I'm reading that correctly. So whereas this does 46 and causes staggered. Well, I guess maybe one of these can still be okay because it's an enhancement bonus, so you can do it on yourself or you can do it on an ally. And maybe strength could be okay for him to enhance attacks, since we already have one touch-based spell, so maybe just enhancing strength can be okay. And then I already have people that have control options. Invisibility would be okay, but we already have the Wand of Vanish. This is more like an out-of-combat spell that we don't really need him to be able to cast. Okay, let's move on to Lindsay now. Let's keep on going in Bard here. Okay, so where to put your skills now? Can keep going in perception. We don't really need trickery now that we have Octavia in the party. Maybe just do a bit of athletics just to make sure that you have one rank in that for both of those. Perception's always nice. Maybe... I don't know if we need persuasion on Lindsay because we already have lots of persuasion on our character. So maybe just like some knowledge type things here would be okay. I think we want Knowledge World for like the camping and stuff, if I remember. Knowledge World can help out with some of the camping type things. Maybe later on I can give her some more use magic device so that way she can equip things to her belt and use them easier. But for now I think that the lore checks are what we're wanting to do. So later on I can make her into somewhat of an AC person by taking levels in some other classes. But for now I think it's just going to be something to where we're going to have her playing just the bard support focus. Maybe an armor focus on light armor is just going to be okay here. Point blank shot would be helpful for ranged weapons, but in the long run I'm not sure if that's what we're going to be doing. So we got our weapon finesse, armor focus. For this one I would presume maybe. Lingering performance is going to be awesome. In the long run, just very, very helpful to get you more uses out of your Inspire Courage and Inspire Competence abilities. Yeah, I mean, I think that we're going to go for light armor with her no matter what, so I think that light armor focus is going to be okay here. And I'm still not sure what weapon she's going to be using long term, so don't want to waste a weapon focus on a feat if I don't know what I'm going to be using with her. Because like you have Cautious Fighter and then all the other defensive feats that can make her actually pretty good, and then Combat Expertise can again end up helping you defensively as well if you have enough intelligence. So yeah, she can potentially have lots of AC, Lindsay can, so maybe later on we'll be able to go ahead and do that with her and have her be up there with the rest of the party. So now for the second level spell, we already have Heroism for all the ability checks and different things. Mirror Image for defense. So Blur would be a pretty decent sort of defensive spell. Distortion and all that can certainly help out, especially if you're getting attacked by a lot of enemies. But there could be better options. Delay Poison can make you immune to poison. And no one else in the party can cast this one. Hold Person could be a good, but it's sort of like a save or suck spell, which might be better on someone like, say, Octavia, that's focusing more on intelligence and her spellcasting ability. Okay, so I think we're just going to go with Delay Poison probably, since this is just something that helps out the party, so to speak, and something that you can give to your people before combat, since you can do it for an area as well, since it's a 1 hour duration. So it's not like a save or suck spell that you have to worry about whether it's going to help or not. So let's just go ahead and take delay poison here as something to help out the party. And then Octavia. Let's keep on going in Wizard. Let's see here. I think we'll do a little bit of the use magic device so that way she can use things potentially that she normally couldn't use. Perception, trickery is going to be very helpful. Obviously, stealth I think is something to focus on as well, and then knowledge arcana. So yeah, I just want one skill rank of use magic device so that way she can potentially use things. Even if it's not all that great, +6 is still, you know, manageable if I want her to use something. And then trickery and stealth, I think I'm going to want those getting up as well. She could have a better knowledge world than Lindsay if I focus on it. So maybe the next level up I can just pump a bunch of stuff into knowledge world, knowledge arcana, and then trickery. Accomplish sneak attacker, you get a bit more sneak attack damage. Greater spell focus, that might be something to take a look at. Can get some defensive feats, but I'm not sure if she's ever going to be in melee, so I don't know if those are going to be helpful. Skill focus for trickery could obviously make it a bit easier to, you know, pick locks and things like that, but she's already pretty darn good at doing that, so I'm not sure if we would necessarily need that. And then deft hands can also do trickery as well with that. So what do we have spell focus in? Transmutation. So what do we currently have? Precise shot. Point blank shot. Transmutation spell focus from her subclass for the wizard there. Or her sort of domain. School of Magic, and then trickery. Okay. So I guess they already have a skill focus in trickery, so we don't have to double dip on that. Weapon finesse. I mean, I'm not sure how many transmutation spells that there are that focus on, you know, targeting enemies with like saving throw type spells, but because I usually think of these as more like buffing type spells that can enhance certain abilities. So I don't know, I could do a different school of magic. Again, I'm not sure exactly which one is better, like Conjuration or Evocation maybe, where I can conjure up like Grease or Web or things like that. I kind of forget what schools of magic that those things are. I'll just go back and double check just to make sure I'm not mucking up my leveling up here. Yes, close the interface. I just want to double check something. Let's go to the handy dandy spellbook here and just double check to make sure I'm not mucking things up. So that's Conjuration. And the Snowball is also Conjuration. Evocation, Conjuration. And then I guess the cantrips. Acid Splash is Conjuration, but it's not a saving throw, it's an attack roll. So yeah, let's go to level 2 spells. Web is Transmutation. Okay, so we can either choose to boost up Web, or we can choose to boost up Conjuration with like the Grease and different things. corrosive touch is probably not something we're going to use, but it's there. And then we have some transmutation here. Not sure if we're ever going to use those. Maybe touch of gracelessness we could use more often. But it is touch range. And touch range kind of makes it impossible to reliably do that, because then we're just going to get knocked around pretty badly. I guess I'll just do transmutation here with make sure that web can do its thing more often and better. Let's do the same thing that we did before. And then I think after I'm done leveling up here, I think I'm going to go ahead and call it an episode. We kind of accomplished what we set out to do. And I think that's just kind of, you know, it took a while to do it, obviously, but we didn't really advance too far in this episode as much as I would have wanted to. But, you know, it is what it is. You know, it's just the way it goes sometimes. Do we want to be able to summon monsters? We already have some summon monster spells that are lesser but still good. So enhancing charisma could be good in some cases. For like out of combat conversation things that you know you're going to be able to do. So maybe you do Eagle's Splendor for that, and we already have Bull's Strength on Reganar. So maybe we can also do Cat's Grace, since we already have Web as like a level 2 control spell to smack at the enemies. See Invisibility could be good, just to be able to see invisible enemies. But we also did get blind fighting on Alyrra, so at the very least with her, the enemies aren't going to catch her by surprise if they're like invisible, for example. And we already have one casting of Glitter Dust on the main character for when we need it, so maybe we can get Cat's Grace on her for the, again, dexterity type things. Like maybe we can cast it before combat, and we can do that on Alyrra, for example, you know, to give her even more dexterity. We can also cast it on Octavia herself to help out with like trickery checks and, you know, different things like that. Yeah, so I think that Create Pit would be a good option. Maybe for the next level up that Octavia has, or if we find, like, say, a spell scroll of it, then we can definitely add it to her spell book, because if we get Conjuration specialization, then I think that would be another good option. At the next time we can grab a feat for Octavia to get that spell specialization going on with Conjuration magic, because this is a pretty good type of control spell. So that's going to be pretty helpful to have, I would think. And then we can also consider like blur and invisibility as well at some point. I don't know, maybe just having blur with Octavia is better, but I'm just going to go with the transmutation magic. Alright, so I thank everyone for watching. I'm just going to go ahead and call it an episode here. It was a bit of a lengthy episode for not really accomplishing much considering, but at least we won the combat that we needed to. We were able to get through things even though things kind of went very poorly and very lengthy in this episode. But I appreciate everyone's patience. I hope everyone still enjoyed watching the video and kind of watching me go through all the motions and stuff. But I'd just like to give the raw experience of what it's like playing the game. I know that there's lots of other people that might pause the game and, you know, do lots of jump cuts and different things going on. But I just like to give the raw experience of me playing the game, and this is kind of what it's like. So sometimes RPGs take a while when you play them single player, so it's just some people's playing pace is not as fast as others. So appreciate everyone watching this and kind of, you know, appreciating it and hopefully enjoying my Let's Play and how informative it might be or just entertaining. So thank everyone for watching. Hope you all have a very wonderful day, wherever you are at. And as always, take care.